Cole Fogel here on A Healthy Balance, and today I wanted to share with you a little bit about my culture. I'm here with Rabbi Shlomi, and my first question to you is, first of all, what is a rabbi?
Well, first of all, I'm honored to be here.
Yeah, thank you for being here.
So a rabbi means an instructor, a teacher, a mentor, a spiritual leader, and a leader in general. A rabbi is a person who is entrusted with leading the community in a Jewish context. So a rabbi has to officiate the services, he needs to conduct marriages, and heavens forbid, funerals, circumcisions, bar mitzvahs, and all the Jewish events on our life cycle. A rabbi also teaches. The first and foremost role of a rabbi is teaching, articulating the words of Torah, the words of God to the people. A rabbi gives advice and counsel. So a rabbi is a very broad position to be in.
So you are originally from
Israel. I was born and raised in Israel.
How many years have you lived in Taiwan?
10 and a half, coming near during 11 years.
Okay.
We've been in Taiwan. We're part of a global Jewish organization called Chabad.
Okay.
Our rabbi, our mentor, had this vision where wherever there are Jewish people around the world, there should be a Jewish center. You know, they gave us two choices we had to choose between Luanda, Angola, and Taipei, Taiwan. I think we made the right choice. You know.
Have you lived in other countries prior to Taiwan?
Before coming to Taiwan, we lived in Hong Kong, my wife and myself, 3 years. We lived there for 3 years. It was before we had any children.
Do you remember what your first day in Taiwan was like? Like, can you imagine the day you arrived? Like, what was your thoughts, feelings? Like, what was that like?
Yeah, I clearly recall when we came to live here, when we actually settled here. I remember the first day. I thought I won't be in shock. I thought, I've seen it all, got it all.
Yeah, because you had the Hong Kong.
Right. But it was still, I was overwhelmed.
Very different from Hong Kong.
I don't miss Hong Kong. I'm sorry if there's anyone from Hong Kong. I don't miss Hong Kong. It's very tense and everybody's rushing. Did you know the escalators in Hong Kong run the fastest in the world? I was talking to my mother on the phone and I said, I'm in a traffic jam. And she said, I didn't know you drive. I said, I'm not driving, I'm walking. I'm walking and there's traffic. So, it's a little different. Anyway, I clearly recall the first day of Taiwan. I was overwhelmed, but I like Taiwan.
The people are really friendly here.
Very friendly, very helpful.
How many Jewish people, like expats, have you met in your 10 years here?
Well, the community consists of currently around 1,500 Jews that reside in Taiwan.
I was not expecting that.
I know. In Kaohsiung, actually, there's over 100 Jewish people that I know.
Wow. Have you met any Taiwanese people that converted to Judaism?
It is a very complicated process.
Yeah, it is. I know.
Well, let's start with the difference between Jewish religion and other monotheistic or main religions like Islam and Christianity. We don't convince people.
There's no missionary
to
type
join
people.
our faith.
Yeah.
We believe in strong faith that whatever you are, you're born this way. Yeah. You're a wonderful person. You could remain this way. You don't have to think like me or act like me or talk like me or wear like me. You could be who you are and we can still be good friends and work together and be associates. So we don't have this thing in our religion where we're trying constantly to recruit new members. We're not really open because we discourage people from becoming Jewish.
There has to be a good reason why.
Exactly. So I get emails every week. I get people in Taiwan. I want to be as successful as the Jews are.
Anyone of any religious belief can be wealthy.
I want to control the economy and I want to control Wall Street. And I want to be
that literally could be anyone of any belief system. Yeah. I think following your passion is probably the best way to become wealthy because you're already then wealthy in the passion before you're wealthy with the money, and then that passion will eventually convert to money, I believe.
According to us sages, a wealthy man is a person who is happy with his lot.
Absolutely.
Because once you are happy with what you have, you're satisfied, then you are wealthy.
Can we say gratitude? Having gratitude for your life.
Having gratitude to God, having gratitude to everything you have.
How old were you when you decided to be a rabbi? I was curious about that.
Approximately 15 years of age. First entertained the thought of being engineering. But then I guess I started going through the path of rabbinical studies, it's very suitable to my character traits.
Right, this is who I am.
Yeah. I mean, I could write algorithm and make machines who do stuff, but I could influence people, which is a far greater thing, I believe.
So you felt the calling, basically.
I felt the calling, and I went to study rabbinical studies. I was ordained in 2005, and I married my wife in 2006.
Okay.
And then 2007 we moved to Hong Kong, and we stayed there for 3 years. Then we went to Israel. We had our twins, our kids, the first kids are twins. And then, we stayed a little bit in Israel because my wife wanted to be by her parents and still, first child or children. And the summer we moved to Taipei. We've been living there ever since.
Have you ever thought of relocating to another part of Taiwan? I guess it's the capital.
It is the capital. It's also the most Jewishly dense place. It's where most Jews live in. I like Kaohsiung. I like Kaohsiung a lot.
It's more relaxed.
It is
you feel?
much more laid back. As a rabbi, it's not only to take care of the Jews in Taipei, but to take care of all the Jews in Taiwan. So we have some peers in Taichung, in Kaohsiung, in Taoyuan, in Hsinchu, in a few other cities. And I strongly believe that the next Jewish center will be open in Kaohsiung. So I find Kaohsiung to be very relaxed, laid back. I like coming here.
Did you ever question your faith?
Well, God encouraged us to ask questions.
Right, yeah.
Our Torah is all full of questions, the way we study. And in fact, that's a very Jewish way of studying, is asking a question. There's an old saying that the son comes back home from school and his mother doesn't ask him, what did you learn today? She asks him, what questions did you ask today?
Oh, I like that.
Right? It's all about us asking and, finding the answers. Sometimes the answers are right within ourselves, right? Sometimes we think we need, sources outside, but it's actually we are the best system to answer our own questions. So did I question my faith as a whole? No, I've never questioned my Judaism. I find a lot of comfort, and I find a lot of meaning in what I do. The more you grow, the more questions you have, and the more you learn. And the more you learn, the more you understand how much more there is to learn. Right? One day a week, Shabbat, where we shut off, which is a very good thing. I recommend to everyone. We shut off our phones, our smartphones, our internets, our emails. No line, no messages, WhatsApp. 24 hours dedicated solely for spirituality.
I think regardless of your belief system, shutting down the machine that runs everything is a good idea for everyone.
The most important thing we dedicate time for study, so that's when we need the book.
You've read the entire Torah.
Oh, we read the Torah every week.
Just for those of you that it's a big book.
It's a big book. It's the world. It's God. It's the creation. It's the stories. It's everything. It's the meaning. Torah means instruction. That's the word Torah in Hebrew. That's the meaning of it, instruction. So you would imagine, you buy a new appliance, you don't know how to use it, right?
Yeah.
God created the world, putting you here, right? He puts you here, and he says, here's your manual. That's how you're going to use it.
Okay, so here's a controversial question, because there are many different belief systems in the world,
right,
and many different manuals.
Correct. Our standpoint is not to try and bring people to our faith.
Not to change one's perception.
Not to bring people to our faith. There's anti-Semitism, there's anti-Jewish feel. It's been like that for ever since the creation of the world. And it's very interesting because we were never after people to change the
Well, also, it's easy to blame a group of people for your problems, right?
That's a very common thing. It's almost a human thing, I'd say.
I mean, it's sadly a human thing.
Yeah.
I mean, and you can see the world right now is very polarized. People are always looking to blame someone for this or that. And
but there's a saying, when you point a finger at someone, you're actually pointing 3 fingers at yourself.
I like
that. So basically, whenever next time you want to point a finger, really think. It's worth noting when we did speak briefly just a moment about anti-Semitism and anti-Jewism, worth noting Taiwan does not have any of that. We have the greatest reception for Jewish faith.
What do you like about Taiwan?
So it is the mutual respect people have for each other. It is respect for the elderly. It is the concept where we're welcoming inherently. The people here are welcoming, and I think this is something that I wish the world would learn how to do. I think what Taiwan teaches me as a Jewish person, as a rabbi, is that concept of welcoming, and I think I believe is the biggest strength.
It's a great question to ask a rabbi. Words of wisdom to live by.
So basically, you could try to summarize the concept of what we're trying to talk about is that the world is what you give, is what you get. And basically when we are impacting good on others, then good will be bestowed on us. Whatever you don't want to be done to you, do not do to others. This is a concept. It affects Jews and non-Jews alike. Right? And I know you want to talk, different religions, whatever, but everyone will understand. There's an eye that watches. There's an ear that hears. There's someone up there. There's God, and He's expecting us to behave in a certain way. Maybe yesterday I didn't prove myself. Maybe yesterday, I set some goals and I didn't match them. I didn't meet those goals. Maybe I'm not worthy. And still God says, here's another day for you. Here's another opportunity. So thinking there's an eye that watches, there's an ear that hears, there's someone that we're accountable to, helps a lot of people understand we're not alone in this world. Not in order to punish you or to bash you or to say, but He wants to be proud of you. Just think of a parent at a graduation ceremony of his child, right? This is all full of joy, of happiness. He's looking at us, He's watching us, and He wants us to prove ourselves. God created man in His image, and God created us in a way that we should do this world, make this world into a garden. He wants us to make this world grow things, right? Grow in a beautiful way. And, what are you sitting watching YouTube? Go do the world a positive place.
When this video is over. The thing on my head here, I'm wearing a kippah. Is that how you would say it in Hebrew?
Correct, kippah. Correct.
And what is the meaning of wearing a kippah?
This is a head cover, right? This is a cover on our head. It's a reminder for us that we always have a cover. There's a cover above us. There's someone watching. There's someone that always holds us. Basically, God is our cover.
The holiday coming up is known as
Hanukkah.
Hanukkah.
Yes.
I don't know why I want to say Festival of Light.
You could say that. That's
and
actually in Chinese it's called Guangmingjie. So
Guangmingjie. Okay.
Guangmingjie.
And I'm always trying to, because I'm a teacher, I'm always trying to explain to my kids, because Christmas and Hanukkah usually come around the same time. Christmas is a much more commercial holiday to the world.
Right.
But I have like a few children's books that I actually will read them about Hanukkah. And then I say, and you get presents too, and that's kind of what sells it.
You got 8 days. 8 days.
You got a gift every day for 8 days. So this is called a Menorah, and these are called Hanukkah candles. First night starts here, correct?
Yeah, the first night.
And then, each night you add 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 until you get to the 8th. So what is Hanukkah in abbreviated terms?
So Hanukkah happened during the time of the Second Temple. This is more than 2,000 years ago, and this is when the Greeks had forced the Jewish people against their will to try and forsake their faith. The Greeks wanted the Jews to adopt their own faith, the Greeks, and there were a bunch of Jews that did not want to surrender, and they went and waged war. It was the few against the many, it was the weak against the strong, and miraculously they won the miracle, and then they entered the temple, which was desecrated by the Greeks, and they wanted to inaugurate the temple. One of the things in the temple is there's a menorah, that's an actual candle holder. Now all the oil was disqualified by the Greeks because they messed it up, and then they found a small jug of oil, poured it, and they said, we're going to light it, and miraculously it lasted for 8 whole days until the time it was enough to produce new oil, and that's how they inaugurated the temple. So this light that we light at Hanukkah symbolizes the victory. The
miracle as well, I guess. The miracle of it staying lit for 8 days.
Right, lit for 8 days, and the victory, and it's always light will overcome darkness no matter what happens.
All right, well, I thank you, Rabbi Shlomi, for allowing me to introduce you to my Taiwanese, the people that watch me.
Remember, be good to each other.
Yeah, be good, really. Yeah.
Every day, and even if we fail, we have another opportunity. God's forgiveness is abundant, and He doesn't get upset, and He keeps giving us another opportunity. So, that's our message for today.
So, and a happy Hanukkah as well.
Happy Hanukkah, of course.
So the beginning of Hanukkah starts
November 28th, coming Sunday.
The final night of Hanukkah is December 5th.
Right.
All right, well, thank you for watching A Healthy Balance. Have a wonderful morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you are, and I will see you in the next one. Thank you.
Take care. God bless you.
Yeah. Shalom.
Shalom, shalom. Thank you.